see. Okay. Hello, everyone. I think I'm live. I have to be brushing him so he doesn't scream and cry. Because we just came back from a walk and he's like, why are we inside? So hello. Let me know if you can hear me. I think my mic's working. Miss Barnabas and Jude and Alaf. Crap, I know you told me how to say it. Please, can you tell me again? Wolfie is downstairs. And yeah, we're gonna have a very chill stream today. I'm going away. Let's just jump right into it. So that in case anyone's here just to see that part, let's get it out of the way. So well, actually, I'll wait a few minutes because people always come in after it goes live for a little while. Cuddly kitty, yeah. Don't know if you can see how he just is like. Welcome to my stream. And then she sat there for 3 hours brushing her cat. What was that? The heat just kicked on and he's like, what was that? I'm here. It's not just the cat. If you don't know, this is Akira, and I actually introduced him in a video, I think, a year ago. Oh, his little eyes are closed. And he was a teeny little kitten. He was like, could fit in my hands, and now look at him. Yeah. This is my baby. So I'm just waiting a few minutes for people to filter in, and then I will explain what the title of the stream means. So dramatic. And then we actually have some work to do today. We have some things to do because I saved it for the stream. So melty, I know, right? What a life. What a life. Jude, I know it's very late for you over in Australia, so this is to help you fall asleep. Kitten. Yes. This is like the best brush ever because it's silicone, so it's very soft and flexible, so it can kind of like go across the contours of their face and it doesn't scratch at all. It's like a massager and a brush in one. So, yeah. I think the purring, yes. You probably can't hear it as loud as usual because actually I'm using the microphone on my laptop today. For some reason my camera was rebelling. There's always something, you know? Yeah. Hey, Sketches. Hello, everyone. I see so many faces that I recognize. Hi, everyone. And in a minute, usually he gets kind of sick of me talking and he goes to like a quiet little spot. Sometimes he like bats my face. He's like, shush, I'm trying to nap. 2 a.m. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm pretty, oh, he's like reaching for the brush. Oh, he's like, come on. Do I got to do this for you? He's like, forcing me to brush him now. Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry, sir. What was I thinking? How about we wait until 17:10 and then I will explain what the title means, the title of the stream. So I'll have to come back and edit this, the like add chapter markers on this video. And the first 10 minutes are just going to be like cat. Yeah. Why don't you just brush yourself? That would be really funny if you figured that out. Ow! Don't bite me. He's like trying to nibble the little... Actually, anywhere in the house if I do this, usually both cats want the brushy, so they come running. It's a good little sound to get them. Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Are you done? No? Now he's feisty. Now he's feisty. Let's show how big you actually are. Let's get your paws. There we go. Do you want to tell them? Do you want to tell them or do you want me to? He refuses to believe I'm leaving. Whenever I get my backpacks out and stuff to start packing, he climbs into them. Like he slithers right in. Can you see his little demon eyes? The cat third eyelid is white and it kind of covers their eye when they're starting to sleep. Oh no, am I too loud? Yes. But hasn't he gotten big? I mean, he is a little over a year old now, so. Yes. He's getting much darker too. If you remember when I introduced him, he was very pale. Okay. He's like, I'm gonna go on your desk now. No, you're not. So we are going to shut the door. He might cry outside the door. Bye-bye, Akira. But Wolfie's here, so he can like help subdue him. So what is today's stream about? Today's stream, first of all, I wanted to announce that I am going away for a little while, not forever. I'm not quitting YouTube. Nothing as bad is happening. So don't jump to conclusions. But I am going away. I'm going on a trip, but it feels like many trips in one. So in like 2 days, 3 days, I'm headed to New York to see my dad for a couple days. And then I'm going to the Adirondacks for I don't actually know the full name of it, but it's an event in the Adirondacks hosted by Eric Rhodes and Plein Air Magazine. So like the Streamline family. And it used to be called the Publishers Invitational, but I think it's changed over the years. And like the people who go to it refer to it as paint camp, because you literally just go to the woods and hang out and paint. It's not like tutored or anything. It's just being there to be somewhere beautiful, vacation, and paint. So that's going to be fun. And I know a few of you are going because I've seen your comments, and that's going to be cool to meet you. Then I'm going back to my dad's house for a couple days, and then my dad and I are flying to Ireland, and it's his first time going pretty much anywhere that far. And my second time in Ireland, but we're only going to be there for 4 days. It's kind of going to be a whirlwind. And then he is coming to Scotland for the very first time, finally. And we get to show him around. So I have tons of stuff planned for that. But what it means is that I'm offline. I mean, I'm going to try to share stories. I'm going to try to share bits and pieces of it online, wherever, but I'm like going to be quite immersed and I definitely won't have time to edit anything. So basically, you won't see another video from me until probably the second week of July. That's like the longest maybe I've gone in years. So I wanted to have this be my last video on the stream until I'm back, so that there's an explanation. Like if someone comes to my channel like, wait, Sarah hasn't uploaded in a while, this is the one that they see. So now that that's out of the way, I want to do a couple things today. I wanted to do a little color swatching of my watercolors that I'm going to be bringing with me, because I haven't done that yet. And I also want to make like a cheat sheet mixing card. I love to do that. I like to mix as much as I can of those limited colors and clip that inside my sketchbook, so at all times I can refer back to that and see what I can do. And then, oh, I'm also going to show you what I'm bringing. It pretty much all fits in here, except for my pochade box, because that's also coming. But I've narrowed it down so you can judge me based on what is in this little bag. Oh man, it was agonizing like usual. And also earlier I was filling one of my brush pens, these ones, and I spilled this ink all over my desk, but luckily it's not waterproof. So it's a clean desk mostly. And then after that, we're going to sketch and just hang out and chat. I mean, we're going to be chatting the whole time today, but I have one sketch kind of 10% done in my sketchbook that I'm bringing with me. And I want to finish that before I go, just because it feels like I need to. It's like closure. I don't know if that makes sense. Like I just need to finish that sketch before I get on the plane. And yeah, I just thought we could hang out and do that. So I'm going to switch screens to my desk. And by the way, this is what my sketch is of, or it's a bunch of poppies. So like, if you want to sketch with me, this is what I'm doing. But before that, we are going to do a few things. So if you want to hang out and sketch with me, that would be wonderful. I love that creative energy. Or if you just want to hang out and drink coffee or listen to me ramble, that's completely fine too. And thank you for all the well wishes for the trip. I am so excited and also a little nervous because I don't like flying, but I'm getting better. I'm getting much better at it, at not panicking, I should say. And in terms of like business, Wolfie is going to be here while I'm away. So he is going to be able to help with orders or, the stuff that comes in while I'm away. So you can still do that if you want. Although I have very little on my shop right now. It's pretty much just books. So he basically gets a vacation too. But he's being a cat dad while I'm away, which is honestly like such a huge relief, because for me, that is the worst part about traveling, is leaving the babies, and knowing that he's going to be here makes me so much less stressed out. Anyways, and plus, when I come back with my dad, Wolfie obviously is going to be with us hanging out and doing stuff. So it's going to be really fun. But I think I'm going to be exhausted after all of that. I think I'm going to need like a week to just recover mentally and physically. Maybe more. Oops, I'm dripping everywhere. Yeah. So, want to see what I'm bringing? What I narrowed it down to? This is my studio watercolor palette. As I call it, my studio, and I have two versions of that. One of them is much bigger with more mixing space, but this one is the one that I like constantly use outside and when I just want to do small sketches on my desk. So these are like my main colors that I use kind of all the time. And I think I did a video about these. So the most recent, like, what's on my watercolor palette video will be these colors. if you want to watch that. Hey, Maria, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Hello. I wanted to like get that announcement out right away, so now we can just chill. I don't want it to be like, you know, clickbaity or dramatic, like, oh, she posted this title and then never said anything. And it's like, no, this is the reason I want that title to say what it says, so that when I'm away and not posting for a month, people can watch this intro and like get the answer they need. Anyways, I have to arrange this still. I was just drying these in the window because I want to make sure they don't spill while I'm traveling. What watercolor brand do I use? I use mostly Daniel Smith, but I also have a few bits and pieces from other companies. I'm playing a lot with Jackman's, which is a UK brand lately. I'm also, I have a few Schminke Horadam, which I'm kind of running out of now, and a couple M-Gram, but I actually don't use those anymore because they're honey based and they never really dry, and I make a huge mess in my palettes. But yeah, Daniel Smith is definitely like my main one, and that's, you can see all of, like, I go into detail about my colors in one of my videos that you can watch. You got the art toolkit. Yeah, I've seen those. I've heard of those. I have like a cheap version that's like this big. It's like the really shallow pans, magnetic pans, but I like a bit more paint and bigger spaces. And I also don't like that the mixing space is flat, like it doesn't have like an edge on the one I have. But the art toolkits are amazing. I've seen lots of people using those, and I think for like a little trip they would be great. I just don't want to spend that much money because I already have so many different palettes. If anyone wants, if they want to send me one, we'll talk. So let's see what is in the bag. And the reason it's in a packing cube is because I'm trying to be very organized at the airport. Last time everything was like shuffled around and wrapped in different clothing, and I don't know why I did that, but at the security, like, I had to take so much stuff out because they always flag me for being like, they have to check everything I bring. I don't know why. So this is it in the cube, and it's kind of nice. I like can grab it by the handle and pull it out of my backpack, which is super convenient. I also have my pochade box wrapped in a little towel in another travel cube, which is in my like bigger suitcase, but that's also convenient. You're worried about running out of paint. I don't think I'm gonna run out of paint, even though these are tiny little pans. Because I'm also bringing my gouache, so this is what I use primarily. I've talked about this one a lot. It's my dried gouache palette, and I just recently refilled and cleaned it. Look how nice this looks. If you don't know, that like this gets messy, but I'm letting that dry. I'm not touching it this weekend because it needs to get like tacky before I travel. So let's dive in. I've got a little case. Oh God. Okay. I've got my little pencil case, and I've got my, I don't know what I'm calling this. I think I'm calling it my sketch kit, but that's not accurate because it's like, it's all kind of part of my sketch kit. But this is like oh my God, look how much cat hair is all over it. This is full of like pretty much everything I need to sit down and sketch straight away. This is all extra. This is going to be inside this once it dries. So yeah. Anyway, what do you want to see first? Do you want to see the drawing utensils, or do you want to see what's in here? You recognize that case. Yes, happy Pride Month, everyone. And if you don't know, this case came with my travel brushes that I launched, which unfortunately are sold out, but we've been talking about a second release, but that one would have like special, that it would be slightly different. So anyway, we'll talk about that in the future. Drawing utensils first. All right, you win because you said it first. So not a ton. I mean, this is like really narrowed down too. But I feel like I picked a lot of good stuff. So we'll see everything now. We've got kneaded eraser with it has a little case. I got this in France and I love this concept because now it won't get so messy. Is it focusing? Yeah. Pencils wise, I don't know if I'm gonna bring my blue one. I probably will because I just like the color. I probably have too many pencils, but I wanted my very, very sturdy, robust, oh bright, very robust graph gear. It has a bit thicker millimeter. What is this one? 7.7, I think, millimeters. Or is it millimeters? I don't know what they measure it in, but it's 0.7, so it's a little bit thicker, and I can get like, it's softer, so I can get a lot of nice lines with that one. This one is the 0.5, just regular 0.5 lead, very tiny, tiny, tiny marks. But it's a little more breakable because it's so thin. But I really like it for little tiny details and little mini sketches. This is the 8B Aquarelle Graphite. So this one is water soluble and I love this so much. It's the 8B, so it's like the darkest one I have. And that means it can get pretty dark, like close to black, all the way up to nothing because you can dilute it. So it's got a wide variety, or wide range, I mean. And then 2 colors. So I got it's the non-photo blue pencil, but this is the one I bought in France, and it's my only light blue pencil with an eraser. So I liked that side of it as a travel pencil, and I just love the color so much. And then just simple polychromos color pencil. It's the one I got this in France as well. I'm bringing a lot of that stuff because I just got it. It's the Venetian red, which is really nice on, I love it underneath a watercolor sketch. For pens, I'm bringing 1 water brush just in case. I am bringing a couple brush pens. Technically, these are brush pens too, but they're also markers. So these are the Tombow dual brush pens. So you get one side is a brush, very thick, nice lines, and then the other side is a bullet nib. So black and very, 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 very light purple, which two that I really like, 2 colors. And then the sepia brush pen that I got in France, which I had never seen before. I have this in black and I love it. This is the sepia one. And it's also not waterproof, so you can dilute it with water and make nice gradients. And this is the Sennelier blue ink brush, which someone did mention that there's leaks a lot, so I'm a little nervous about that, but I've been using it for the whole week and it hasn't been leaking yet, so I'm gonna have to keep a very close eye on this one. I sure hope it doesn't like do anything weird on the plane. I'm not gonna use it until I get there and just like let it settle. I don't know if that's a thing. Oh, and that's an eraser pen. And then a couple bits. These are the Uni white acrylic Posca pen. These are the ultra opaque, you know, it just has a bullet tip, so really nice for just white if I need it. And then a teeny tiny 0.05 fine liner and a platinum preppy, which is a medium nib. And I put the carbon ink cartridge in it, so it's waterproof. don't put it in your checked bag. I am not bringing a checked bag. I hate bringing checked bags. If I can avoid it, I do. So this time I'm bringing just carry-on, and I've narrowed it all down to a carry-on bag plus a small backpack, and that's it. So I'm portable. I will be putting them in a plastic bag, and then inside this, I just haven't finalized everything in terms of travel readiness. So that's it. It's like nothing, right? I think that's pretty reasonable because it's all unique enough where it won't be like competing with things that are too similar and then like, you know, worried about which one do I choose. If I want a thing in my, like if I have an idea in my head, I know exactly what it needs, what I need to draw it with. Is it a brush marker? Is it a pencil? That kind of thing is easy to decide. And then I only have one, so I can just grab it. And then in here, this is what I call the sketch kit. I don't know why I keep saying that, but I have a teeny tiny flexible foldable water bottle, which I also have a bigger one of these that I keep in my backpack full usually, but this one I usually fill with water, or I can like fill it with creek water and then use it to paint and stuff like that. It's just my extra one. This is for pouring in my dirty paint water when I'm done, so I can carry it back to wherever I'm going. Then we have the fun stuff. So, pencil sharpener, a teeny one. These are tiny little spritzers, spray bottle spritzers. Can you see that? They're just, I don't know, they call them like atomizers, I think, as well. They're not full yet because I'll fill them when I get there, since I can't bring like liquids outside of my liquids bag. And then all this is just extra like paper towel kind of things. And then we have the main thing, which, oh yeah, tape. It is my little sketchboard, which I'm having a lot of fun with. Been using it. I use it a little bit outside and then a little bit in the living room. So I can open the back page, clip it to the back page because the back page is rigid. So here, actually, let's switch to this. So we have the board clipped to the back page. It's very obviously rigid because it's a hard board. And then I can, any page that I'm working on is supported by the board. I have those boards that you can like, they like slide on the spine, but they don't, they like go inside, so the covers aren't actually supported. Whereas this is like like when I'm holding it, especially, it's super sturdy, and especially when it's windy, I want to be as tight as I can with that. And then I have this little guy. So my portable painter micro has Velcro on it, and then I added Velcro to one of these drawing clips, and then I can slide this on wherever I want. I can also just slide it like onto the other side of the sketchbook. It's very flexible. And depending on where I need to set it, I can just set it there. I've kind of worked it out exactly where I want it, but then I can move things around if I need to. And this is like an extra water cup. They are sealable, but they're not fully sealable. I've noticed they do spill a little bit. So it's a very flexible drawing board, basically. Let's go back to the screen. Oops. So you can see. Oops, that's a bit too bright. Depending on, you know, what I'm doing, I can also just adhere the portable painter to the board itself. Like I can put it here if I want, but that seems a bit weird because it's like sticking way off the edge. It's just basically I just gave myself options because I wanted it to be really flexible. But I like the fact that this drawing board clip, like I got the really thick one just in case I want to, like if I want to be ultra portable and not use that, I can, if I'm painting on the left side, I can just slide this right over the right side. And then it's super secure, like it's not going anywhere. Yeah, basically wanted options. I'm still getting used to like this handheld board idea because in the past I tried it, but I didn't do it very well and it would make my wrist sore after a while. So I'm like, okay, if I'm doing this, I'm going super lightweight and trying to make it as compact as I can so that it's not like flapping around and things are falling off. That's my biggest problem. And that's it. That's what I'm bringing besides my pochade box. So what am I missing? What am I not thinking of? Because I know, even though I've been overthinking it, like it just, there's something. There's got to be something. Oh, and the other cool thing about this, which was a total happy accident. Check this out. Okay, you can't see that. Okay, ready? I'm painting. Ah, what a beautiful painting this is. I guess I'm gonna take a break now. That was a dramatic reenactment of what actually happens. But yeah, look, it was like a complete happy accident. A little brush holder. I don't know if my pencil would work in that. It probably would just slide right through, but I could also just punch holes in this plastic thing. It's like a corrugated plastic material. Super easy to cut, but very rigid and lightweight. So I could just cut some holes in that. Don't know. Okay. Now, let's kind of tuck all this away for now because it's in the way. All that Velcro. I know, right? It's a bit much, I am sure, but it's like you just never know. You just never know where you need to stick some Velcro. I had to be careful phrasing that one. Okay, so I got, I think, everything in there except my, I'll put that in there too. I just want to make sure I keep my desk very tidy so I don't start mixing it with other things. Okay, what are you missing? Paintbrushes. Oh, yes, thank you. Sorry. I have paintbrushes in my backpack in a brush case because I already picked them out and I just wanted to make sure 100% I have them. I don't want to forget them. So my pochade box and my sketchbooks and, sorry, I have one bigger sketchbook that I'm bringing. That and my brushes are already packed. This is more like my little sketch kit for when I'm at the airport or like lunch at a cafe kind of thing. Just very minimal, easy to grab and use basically because I wanted to, that's my goal. Sketchbooks. So the sketchbooks I'm bringing are this little guy. It's the Hanamula 100% cotton beige paper. So if you look closely, you can kind of see a bit of it. It's so hard to film. Like this is the kind of thing that really shows up in person, but not so much on camera because my camera is trying to like auto adjust everything. But it's very light gray paper. It's very subtle, but I love it, especially for drawing. So this is kind of like my mixed media sketchbook. It does accept watercolor pretty well. These are just some random sketches I was testing out again, like how much water I can add. I used like tons and tons and tons and tons of water over here. And then this is gouache. So I was kind of reminding myself how it feels on the paper. And yeah, it's just a light gray. So it's really nice. And then this paper is smooth enough for like almost any nib, like any kind of fountain pen or any kind of, like I'm using the 0.05 fine liner here. This is the sketch I want to finish later. And it doesn't like grind, the paper isn't too rough for those types of marker, those pens, which is nice. Yeah, I like it. It's just a great mixed media, like toss it in your bag and go back sketchbook. Sorry, this is not 100% cotton. It's I just bought another version that is, but this is not. This is just the toned paper version. So my apologies on that mix up. But it doesn't really matter because it does what I want it to do. It's really nice for what it is. Now I have a list. This is because I'm always kind of scatterbrained during a stream. We need to do some color swatches. So I need to organize this is what I'm bringing, my portable painter micro, one of them. Oh, and my other sketchbook is the larger size. I'm doing it. I'm doing it, guys. I'm breaking into the top shelf, the top tier sketchbooks, the vault. I am bringing the Strathmore watercolor sketchbook, 7" by 10". The large one. I only have 3. It's like the only 3 that still exist. They're sold out, they're discontinued, and no one can find them. Everyone can find the small ones, which I love as well, but I love to spread out on the big ones, and especially like, I don't know, I'm just bringing it because it'll make me happy. And then just a small paper scribble sketchbook, just like, you know, it's almost like computer paper, just something to doodle in that doesn't matter. And that's it. Those are the 3 sketchbooks I'm bringing. But I also shipped paper to my dad's house ahead of time. Like I ordered it to be shipped to his house. And I'm like already thinking, oh God, what have I done? Because it's, oh no. These. I shipped 2 of these to him, plus 2 of the, I think they're like 8 by 10" or something. Same brand, Baohong. I think it's also the cold press, but there's 4 paper blocks waiting for me there. What have I done? I think it's because I got like a good sale and the shipping was way cheaper than sending it here to Scotland. So I was like, oh yeah, that'll be awesome. I'll save so much money. But now I have to remember to save room in my luggage for all of that. Or I could just leave like 1 or 2 blocks there so that I always have paper there for any future visits. Like that's also a thing, I guess. I don't know. But I was just thinking about that today. I'm like, oh, look how compact my setup is. This is so nice. And then, oh, wait. Oh God, okay. I have so much paper. But I'm excited for that because I'm bringing my pochade box. I wanted to be able to paint larger, and I didn't want to, you know, it's going to be nice that it's just there waiting for me, and I can paint my heart out in the Adirondacks. Big paper, little paper, whatever I want. Just not worry about it. So, surprise stream. I know. It's not really a surprise. I've been announcing it for a couple days. Where were you? But let me scroll. Did I miss anything else? Like any supplies that I'm forgetting? Yell at me if I'm not, if something is glaringly obvious that I'm missing something. I hope I've answered all the supply questions by now. Oops. Sorry if the video is like jumpy. My internet's being awful today. Can I ask my dad to pack one for me? Maybe. I'm very curious to see how well he does with packing because it's his first big international trip. And we're both just doing carry-ons. Okay. What am I going to swatch this on? We need some papaya. I think these are the ones that I ordered as well. So this size, 10 by 12 by 7. It's just a good painting size. It's not too big where you're like, oh, I can't finish this in one sitting, or not too small to like run out of space for details. Because the majority of the Adirondack painting week, we're going to be outside. We're going to be plein air painting. So, you know, I'm trying to bring supplies that I know, I love, I use all the time, I'm comfortable with. I'm excited. Very, very excited. Can you tell? Okay, set down here, out of the way. And now, I may actually take this off the paper block because what I like to do is swatch out the colors and then I actually tape the card to the back of the palette just so I always know what they look like. And then I have a separate like cheat sheet mixing chart that I like to have in my sketchbook. My new glasses cleaner, yes, definitely. Okay. And yes, if you did miss the announcement at the beginning, I'm basically leaving for a while. I'm not going to have another video probably till the second week of July. So I'm very sorry about that. You can watch maybe some old videos of mine and laugh at me. You can go way back and watch the early ones and really laugh at me. Cringe-worthy videos. Please don't watch those. Oh God. I was kidding. I do have a lot of videos. Actually, Wolfie pointed out that I don't know how many, I'm sort of close to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. And he said I should time it somehow so that my 500th video, is that the one? Is when I hit 100K. I'm terrible with numbers. But I don't know how to do that because I don't know when I'm going to hit that. But I have a lot of videos. The only thing is I don't know if that counts unlisted videos because, oops. I'm going to make this manual. Wait, do I want it manual or not? I don't know if that counts unlisted or private videos. Should we get closer to this? Actually, let's cut this out first. I'm at 468 videos. Okay, how on earth would I make that many before 100K? Because it has taken me years to get to 100K. I don't think it's going to happen overnight. Typically, I make a video a week. Sometimes I miss some, like this month. And so do the math. See how I deflected that? That is so crazy, by the way, because I still remember making a thank you video for 5,000 subscribers. And then I think I made one at 10,000 subscribers as well. And I could not believe it. I was like, how is this happening? Because you just don't think when you first start a channel, you have no idea. And then you realize, oh, this is like if you're not the kind of YouTuber who does like viral things or follows the trends, like you grow really slow. And I think that's better because on my Scotland YouTube channel, I did a couple videos that were very I would say technical, like equipment based. It was all about my lenses, about my camera, that kind of thing. And that draws a really big crowd and also a very opinionated, wait, did I say cloud? It draws a crowd and an opinionated one at that. And it kind of went viral compared to my other ones, my other videos. And then I started noticing like a lot more comments about my gear than anything else. And I'm like, this is not what my channel is about. So I had to unlist that video because it was drawing the wrong crowd, but because it was kind of going viral. And I was just like, whoa, okay, lesson learned. Like it's not about numbers. It's about the content and who that attracts. So for most YouTubers, growth is very slow. So I never imagined or thought like, I don't know, 10,000 seemed like way out of reach. 50,000 seemed impossible. It's like now 100K. Although I do recognize that YouTube is growing and has been growing for a long time. So there are like people use YouTube as TV almost, which I mean, I do too. So let's make it super cute and rounded. The right audience is important. Numbers, yeah, if it's not the right type of viewers who don't like get you, it's kind of pointless. And you probably won't enjoy your comments very much or your live stream audience. You guys are all super fun and we can geek out about things like this and supplies and yeah, it just feels good. Okay. Lens measurement competitions. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna go there. Timing your 500 videos, 100,000, pretty tricky. Yeah, I don't know. So live stream at 100K. Yes, I love that idea. Let's do that. Let's do a live stream. We'll pop some bubbly. I don't know, something will happen, but we'll just celebrate. You found me looking for somebody testing gouache colors. Yeah, I think, yeah, true. Gouache probably was a pretty big factor in my channel's growth. Luckily, I love gouache and like I was going to do it regardless. So it worked out. Okay, let's figure out what order this is to go in. What's the longest amount of time you've spent organizing pans into a palette? I have been thinking about this for days because you want it to feel intuitive when you're sitting down to mix. So this is the Jackman's Petal Shadow. So it's very heavily granulating. It's kind of a bluish, purplish, but separates out into pink. So it's a mix. This is lavender, ultramarine, and a green, which I custom mixed the green. I have no idea, but it'll be fun. So I was thinking this because blue and blue sort of together, even though it's still lavendery. Or I could do this, which is more in like values. So it's lighter than we're kind of getting into the darker ones. I definitely want buff titanium on the outside because I always put my white or closest to white on the outside of my palette, like on the edge. And then we have Potter's Pink because I wanted a bigger amount of that because I use it so much. I added to like everything. And then in this little guy, which I am usually not, like I like these little ones, but I feel like I'm constantly using it up. But this trip is short enough where I'm not worried, I guess, this time. And I put the most concentrated colors in here. So like the ones that, for instance, buff titanium and Potter's Pink and lavender and ultramarine, I use so much that I like need a bigger amount of it. And I also dig my brush into it more. So I want it to be more accessible. Whereas these ones are so saturated and powerful that even if I like touch the tip of my brush in it, I get enough of it. So I thought, okay, that's fine for the tiny palettes. So we have Burnt Umber, Phthalo Turquoise, Quinacridone Magenta, and a color almost as basically Quinacridone Gold. So it's like my yellow. And I know you're like, wait, why is your yellow so tiny? But it's very strong. So I'm not worried about that. So then I have to decide, do I want this is how insane I am. Like the blue is touching the bluish green there. So that I like that. But then the pink is not touching the Potter's Pink, but I use yellow more often. I don't actually use Quinacridone Magenta so much. So sorry, I feel like the stream suddenly needs like one of those spiral effects where it's like Sarah's off in La La Land. It doesn't matter if the camera's focused. You would re-release videos a week early so people may see something. Oh, okay, I missed something. Geeking out over pigment keeps the riffraff out. I like that. Are these gouache? Yeah, sorry, these are watercolor. I have gouache in a separate palette all ready to go. It's super, that's clean, trust me. Yeah, this doesn't look like yellow, but it's yellow. If I tilt it away from the light, you can see. Speaking of which, I opened my tube of, what was it? I don't know which color it was now. It's been a crazy week, but one of them exploded all over my hand. So I had to scoop it out off my hand and off the desk into its own pan. So now I have a random pan of that color and it's, I was like, oh, okay. I'm just going to do this because I think follow your instincts, follow your gut. I need Phthalo Turquoise to touch those bluish green ones. And it's a bridge because we have Phthalo Turquoise bridged with green and blue. So Phthalo Turquoise is kind of a greenish blue. So in my head, when I'm mixing, when I'm grabbing a color, if I go for one of these, they're kind of in the same vein more than the rest of the palette is. And then I can use my blues kind of intuitively there. And then I know that these are like my earthy, granulating, kind of lighter ones. And then I have my like power mixing colors. So I feel like that makes sense in my head. So now let's swatch them. And this is what I do every single time I make a palette and go anywhere. I'm not changing them. I see suggestions happening in chat, but I can't at this point. It's, if anything, like I can't because it won't dry in time. Like I'm leaving Tuesday. And maybe it would, some colors would probably dry in time, but I don't want to stress about it. Mini palettes are those tricky palettes where you're like really forced to think about what you use often, what you need, what are your must-haves. Okay, so let's just start with some some light. Okay, I think I'm gonna do it in the way that it's laid out on the palette, just so I can make it super easy for myself. And I'm not trying to make these perfect. I just need them to kind of line up. See how light that is at first? You have to kind of like let it sit. I should spray this first, actually. Living with imperfection. Yeah, you can't, I mean, you probably could figure out a way to lay it out perfectly, but as long as you have a logic to it, while you're out there painting, things get easy. It's easier. So that's what I'm always thinking about. If it's just willy-nilly thrown in there and I'm out there painting, I'm like, why is my yellow over there and my blues are all separated, and I get really frustrated. I get discombobulated. Life hangout sessions. Yeah. Oh, that's okay, Maria. I'm sure I will see you online and stuff here and there. Look how strong that is. And I barely touched that. That's like so intense. But then it melts into a beautiful sunny yellow. Seriously, you need like the tiniest touch of phthalo turquoise. I kind of squished the pink. I don't know why. It's okay. Okay. I wanted to give these ones a little more room because this one is super granulating and has that duotone effect. So I wanted to give it more room to be unique and spread and kind of show off. And I might try to label these, but I kind of don't need to because I do know what they are. I used to label them no matter what, but then it's like, that's really annoying to write so tiny. Let's see what, I actually haven't seen the green color yet. Ah, okay. That's kind of how I thought. I did mostly diopside genuine because I just wanted like a base green, just something to start with. And then I did a touch of undersea green and a tiny touch of my yellow, like barely. But I thought if it does kind of separate and do something fun on the paper, that would be cool. But I could easily lean that down into like earthy green or yellow green or whatever. I may add a tiny bit more of this, just so I remember it can get pretty dark. Okay, so there we have it. Let's do a close-up. Oh, I'm already zoomed in, sorry. It's kind of hard to show without the glare, but you can kind of start to see the separation of some of the colors, like this one especially. We'll let it dry and then we can look at it later. Let's pick up a little bit of that. Yeah, cool. Maybe touch a tiny bit of water into this just to see the granulation if it does it. We'll let it dry. Hammer Toe, thank you. See you later. Next, I'm going to do a little cheat sheet. I need to make a cheat sheet for my sketchbook because I have obviously used all these colors, but not in a limited palette together. I mean, actually, yeah, no, I haven't used all these together in a limited palette. I've used similar mixes, but I think, especially with this green, I'm very curious. Excuse me. Hey, CZ. Sarah, is that you? The dark purple. So that's the Jackman's Petal Shadow. It's such a unique color, and I have one tube left, and I'm like trying to savor it. I can kind of mix a similar color, but then I'm like, why would I? Like, there's kind of no point. I should just buy it because it is a UK company, and I love that. But I'm gonna let that dry, but we're gonna switch to a bigger mixing sheet. Let's see, what size do I want this to be? I need enough space for, it can't be too big because I want it to clip into my Strathmore. So this is the size of the sketchbook. I probably should cut this down a little. How about we do a you made an account just to chat? That's so amazing. I love that. One of us. Let's do like that big. I guess I could always fold it, but I feel like that's a nice size to have, like, comparatively. And it should be more than enough space. Actually, it won't be. I could do way more space, but that's fine. I do also like to do my mixing cheat sheets in the sketchbook I'm taking, but I don't want to waste a page in my Strathmore for that because I love them. And I have one left after that. Oh, I forgot Nightbot is a thing. I hope Nightbot hasn't been doing dumb little confusing things. I might use this as a mixing tray. Please ignore Nightbot if it says anything wrong. It is just a bot. And I forgot to change the commands. So yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna do how do I want to do this? A little bit of buff titanium with the rest. I may just cluster things. I usually do like a 2-color chart, but that I definitely don't have enough room for the whole palette to do that. Or I could do like a tiny version and like do 2 rows. No, you did it right. I was just, because sometimes there's like a timer that it'll say this Patreon stream, or it'll say, I don't know, it just says things. Because I've programmed it to have timers in the past for specific streams. And if I forget to change it, it might still say something based on that stream's topic, you know? Anyway. Let's continue. Oh boy. Calm down there, Night. There. Let's manual focus now so there's no glitching. All right. If there's a question, tag me so I see it. Otherwise, we're just gonna chat and geek out about color. Is anyone else painting right now? Let's do a little lavender. I kind of already know what it looks like with, let's do lavender. I'm actually gonna do 2 rows. So, oh God, what have I done? I've already messed it up. Oh, okay. So there's the pure green, a little bit of lavender, and now we're gonna work our way down between them. Oh my gosh, I love that color. That is gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I just want to paint everything with that color forever. Is that acceptable? So it just gives us a little peek at what's possible with 2 colors. That's why I really like doing this. And then we need some of the, actually, I don't know if, so brown, that's too light. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh man. Lavender and burnt umber, basically. That is really pretty. I'll just do like a touch there. That's, I mean, lavender just looks so good with everything. And then maybe a touch of yellow. Ooh, that's a really nice color. Yeah, so that's a great option for like a grassy, warm green. I have packed a tube of white gouache. Yes, it's in my bag with my toiletries and stuff. my liquids bag. It's the only tube I'm bringing because I just don't want to worry about tubes. Watching and painting, paint swatches, falling asleep. I totally get it. Good night. For your art toolkit colors. Nice. Clean, getting ready to paint. Yay, I love seeing so many people painting. Tempted to head into the studio. Okay. Painting a poppy. Folding laundry. Oh, good idea. Like wait for the first layer to dry, do some laundry, do something else, come back, and then you're not like rushing it. Yeah. What else do we want? Let's do, I mean, I already know how gorgeous this is, but let's just have it on there. Potter's Pink. It's nice, subtle violet. Painting this morning. Restraining the urge to use a lot of bright color. Honestly, that is tricky. I think something about human eyes, we're like naturally attracted to saturation and contrast. It is a conscious decision each time you paint. It's a bit too much water there. Ooh, interesting. I picked up some of the excess water in that one, and the lavender has kind of like settled interestingly with the burnt umber. Cool. What else? I think that's good for now. I'll do more with the, what blue did I mix? This is lavender. So I'm just trying lavender with a few of the colors that I'm not, like that I would tend to mix it in a landscape. I don't know if that made sense. Like if I'm out painting cliffs by the sea, I would want to mix lavender with certain things to get certain effects. So I'm giving myself a cheat sheet to say like, okay, this is what you get if you mix those two. This could be useful for that. So I'm making mental notes like, you know, sunny grass on the hillsides, shadowy grass on a hillside, light bouncing around sand, rocks and things like that. You know, making mental notes is so helpful, and then I remember that when I'm out there painting. Or it sparks the idea, I guess, if I look at this cheat sheet to say, oh yeah, I can mix those two and have fun in those rocks. Things artists say. Okay, let's do the petal shadow with a few things because it is so unique. Some crazy things can happen. We'll do it with some ultramarine. Ooh, it's a bit too much. It's beautiful though. I like that one. Ultramarine and the petal shadow is really nice. So let's do the green. Just go down the line. Ooh, so it's a bit too much of a jump. The green is really strong. I forgot how strong diopside green is. That's nice. It's like a really slightly subdued version of the diopside, or of the green. That'll be good. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, when I sit down to paint grass, if I don't want it to be insanely bright, I could automatically start with the petal shadow plus the green, get a nice base, which is a little more subtle. And then if I want to warm it up, touch some yellow into it, or make it even deeper with some burnt umber or phthalo turquoise even, you know, like branch out from there basically. But I really like that one, that mix. Okay. Next. Also great for stormy skies. Yes, I love it for skies. Let's do, I don't really need to mix Potter's Pink with it because I already know what that happens. And same with Buff Titanium, it just gets a little bit more muted, lighter. Let's do the Burnt Umber. Ooh, that's fun. It's kind of like this Burnt Umber is the brown, it's the EF Brown Iron Oxide by Daniel Smith. So it's a really deep chocolatey granulating brown. Not exactly burnt umber, but that's the closest I have in my palette. So this is making it like really pretty chocolatey, but with a hint of that shadow. I like that. That would be nice for so many different things. Bark, rocks, sand, so many things. Oh no, I'm surprised my internet's letting me stream at all. Lavender and buff mix. I do love that one. I use that quite often. I guess I'm not mixing every color with every color on this because there's certain ones that I just know already so deeply that I don't want to use up the paper with it. Uh, Only because this is a cheat sheet going in my sketchbook. I have other mixing cheat sheets in my studio that I reference while I'm at home, but just for this particular trip, I'm trying to get as many little mixes as I can to spark those ideas. Okay, next, the phthalo turquoise, which I have done a little bit, but let's see. This is always like I mean, phthalo with anything. This phthalo turquoise is so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, this will be really pretty for shadowy bits in water. Especially if I don't mix it fully, if I just let them bleed and flow on the paper, that will be so pretty. Oops, I'm trying not to get too big. A little bit yellow. Oops, that's way too much. That's kind of interesting. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. They abbreviate it to nay. Yeah. I don't know. Do I abbreviate any colors when I don't think I do. Unless, well, I don't use like initials when I do. I'll say like buff for buff titanium, or ultramarine instead of ultramarine blue, or phthalo instead of phthalo turquoise. But that's only because I know which ones specifically are on my palette. So yeah, you kind of have to be careful when you're in a group that everyone has different colors and names. Sketches. That's kind of nice. What's happening here? How it's settling. It's like the yellow is mixing with the blue that's in that color and making a green, but then the pinks and yellows are separating out a little, like on the sides. It's just really, really interesting. Hey, Heiko. Hey, AM. Yeah, so if anyone missed the announcement, I am going on an adventure. I'm headed to the US, painting, visiting, going to Ireland, and then my dad is coming here for the first time ever, and we're showing him around. So it's going to be a whirlwind, and I'm going to be offline, kind of. I'm not going to be posting a video until probably the second week of July. So don't worry, I'm not quitting YouTube or anything crazy. Let's do some, you know what, I'm actually going to have to, it's going to annoy me, but I'm going to have to top these up after stream, because otherwise if there's like a little divot in my palette, in my colors when I leave, I'm going to be like, no, I haven't maximized my space. Let's do some quinacridone magenta, because I think this will be a nice kind of violet with some texture. Okay, I'm letting it separate or do its thing in the paper. And then let's mix it a little bit. Okay, what else? I did a lot more mixing with that one because it's one of the newer colors for me here. I could also do a little yellow cheat sheet, but then I can skip lavender and I can skip this one. But it's always good to, if you have one yellow in your palette especially, it's really good to have a quick little cheat sheet for everything it can do. So yeah, we'll just skip the ones I've already done. Words, come on. I think I added a slot in this side. Well, I do have room, I could just do that. It's fine. Have you ever really emptied a pan during one trip? Yes. I emptied Buff Titanium and Potter's Pink and pretty close to Lavender. But that's only if I have one palette. So I'm not worried about this trip because I have this plus my gouache palette, and I'm probably going to be using my gouache palette more. At least I'm guessing I am. I don't know. But that means I have more than enough. But still, I want to make sure that they're topped up, because just having that fresh new palette when you go is just so nice. Oh, thanks, Megan. You're posting your goofy results on Patreon. I'm sure they're not goofy. You've been doing amazing. Ooh, just like I thought. It's a beautiful, warm, grassy green. The yellow is basically a yellow quinacridone gold. All of these colors I go in detail about them in a different video if you're interested. Like all of my main core Daniel Smith colors that I use all the time. So if you want to dive a little deeper, I also have a blog post about it with swatches and the pigment numbers and all that stuff too. The range with the ultramarine, yeah, isn't that incredible? Because you basically get orange plus light yellow plus a brownish, I would say, color, and then you get greens, and then you get turquoises, kind of, and then you get blue. You get so much. That's why I love, like, as soon as I discovered that combo, I'm like, yep, that's a winner. I think it's just one of those yellows that has a huge range. It kind of reminds me of quinacridone burnt orange in how much it varies between like the dark part and the light if you dilute it out, although that's different, I guess. Next we have a little bit We'll do sweet green. I don't really need to see it with buff titanium, but I will mix it with Potter's Pink as a reminder. Because it's kind of like a brown, it's like a brown, basically. That's what you get. But it's hard to get it deep enough because Potter's Pink is so subtle. Like the range isn't quite as wide, so it's kind of like, I don't really want to spread it too far there. $200,000. Wait, what did I miss about 200? Oh, mixing all of your, oh my gosh. Yeah, see, no matter how many times you do a little cheat sheet like this, you will get different, slightly different results. Like you'll get an overall picture of what's there, but you can make such a huge variety with only a few colors. That's what I love about it. It's such a fun little puzzle almost to figure out. I guess I'll do this one even though it's kind of obvious. Oh, no, I didn't do this one yet. Here we go with phthalo blue, phthalo turquoise. Oh, whoa, that was a big jump. I gotta find a bridge there. A little bit backwards, but that's okay. That looks very similar to my green, but the green has really weird granulation properties, so there's a difference. Sorry, I'm trying to see if I can make it less glary and still show the color, but it's not really gonna work. Just give it a second, it'll settle. What colors am I mixing? So kind of everything in this. So my little palette I'm bringing with me, I'm just trying to get a cheat sheet of what I can mix with it. Not the full range, but like the majority, I would say. And a lot of times this is purely like I keep this in my sketchbook when I go outside so I can quickly reference it. And sometimes it's purely just to spark an idea. So if I'm looking at a scene and I see XYZ colors, I can look at my cheat sheet and be like, oh yeah, that's a good option for that specific thing. And then go from there. Yeah, it's just a fun little ritual I do before I go on a trip. Sometimes I do it on the plane, or actually I get nauseous on the plane now when I try doing it, but or if I'm waiting in the airport, it's a good little activity. Painting in your kitchen. Nice. Okay. What is next? We need one more magenta. Whoa, that was a bit much. It's really hard to get the subtle shifts. Like that's one thing I always have fun with in these little cheat sheets, because they are so strong, they can jump really fast. Like the red here. But this is an example of why I don't need an extra red in my palette, because if I mix my quinacridone magenta with my yellow just a little, I lean into the reds. And then if I dilute the quinacridone magenta, I lean down into the pinks. So it's like just a really versatile red option. Yeah, especially with this particular yellow. Hansa yellow as well is a great one. Hansa yellow and quinacridone magenta can do that. Lemon yellow, does lemon yellow do that too? Kind of. I wanted at least one convenience color green, because I typically don't put a green in my limited palette and spend so much time mixing a green on location. And I'm like, okay, this time have a pre-mixed one just in case I want to start there and then touch into it. At least it could end up saving me like 10 minutes, which maybe doesn't sound like a lot, but it is if you're kind of chasing the light and racing against rainstorms and stuff. Do you use buff titanium from gouache? I use a watercolor buff titanium. So it's just a really wonderful, quick option to lighten something while desaturating it. And I love it, especially for like distant elements in a landscape, because a lot of times they're a bit more hazy. And also, well, I guess because I paint a lot of coastal scenes, it's a color that you see everywhere. Like rocks, a sunny rock, the highlight on the rock can be buff titanium straight out of the tube. It's just such a sand as well. So it'll be interesting to see how much I use it in the Adirondacks, because it's going to be so green. Everything is so lush. It's a forest. You're in the mountains. I'm so curious to see how different color mixing will feel there, because it's been so long since I've lived anywhere or been anywhere like that. The green that I chose is kind of a custom mix, but mostly it's diopside genuine. So it's like a super intense, it's like the color of summer grass in the shadows almost. Like it's a deeper green, but it's really intense. It's probably got some phthalo in it or something. But I added a tiny, tiny hint of undersea green and a tiny hint of this yellow. But it's like very minimal. Okay, next we have a little space for something else. Let's do, which color should I do? I could do the phthalo turquoise. Because so far the only place I've used it is with the yellow and the shadow. But it is actually a really fun and useful mixing color. The only thing is I typically mix it with 3 colors. Like it's part of a threesome. It's just so intense that I like to add a hint of this and a hint of that, you know? The green? You think I should add the green? I guess actually that's a good idea, because the point of the green is to start as a base and not using it like straight up the whole time. So I kind of need to know what happens when I mix things with it. So far I have lavender, petal shadow, yellow. So I kind of have an idea, but I should probably do the rest. Who all keeps a custom convenience mix on the palette? Yeah, I think it's very common because it's really helpful. It's like, you know, the colors you're going to use all the time. Why not pre-mix it if you have space for it, especially? Oh, thanks, Forbes. Have a good day. It's so sweet when viewers or viewers, you guys are like, don't forget to like the video, and like promoting me somehow. Okay, let's do the greens because it is going to be useful. I guess, Wolfie, you got some good ideas sometimes. All right. So a little bit of that to start, but I want to make sure I don't use lavender, don't use petal shadow, don't use yellow. So we'll go with ultramarine. Ooh, yeah, this is always a lovely combo. You can actually lean into the turquoise a little bit. Like, look at that. How... Oh, that's kind of the same. Let's go a touch of water. Sometimes if I'm doing a mix and it's like, oh, that one looks exactly the same as the one next to it, I'll just touch more water into one of them so that you can kind of get a variation of some kind, at least. Just makes the thing more useful as a whole. Ultramarine is just so pretty. Like, it's ultramarine. Do you even need to explain? It's just one of the greatest colors. Chromatic gray. Ooh. I think my first custom mix was a lime-ish green that I used to... Oh, I know why. It's because I was using green gold so much. And either I ran out one time or I don't know what happened, but I had to mix it myself. And I mixed a pan of what I thought basically matched green gold. And I was like, oh, why don't I do this with a lot of my greens? And from there, I just basically started custom, because before that I was using greens out of the tube primarily. And then from after that point, I went down into mixing my own greens. And it was like a aha moment. Actually, you know what? Let's use a little buff titanium with the green, because I'm not quite sure, with the granulation especially, what we're gonna get. Oh, that's beautiful. That's a really pretty light green. Kind of minty, but the granulation is separating the color slightly, especially here. So that's going to be really fun. That'll be nice for like on a tree when the leaves are facing a certain way, they reflect the light, the white light, and that's a color that's really tricky. Either you want to leave it alone to let the paper color show through a little bit, or you could use something like that, really, really diluted though. It reminds me of that color that is so hard to reactivate. Terra Verte? I can't remember the name of the one I'm thinking, but I had a tube of it and I was like, I put it in a pan and I basically could not, like if I wet it and try to pick it up, it would be almost nothing. It was so like solid and subtle. I was like, it's kind of pointless in a pan. All right, next we have Potter's Pink. Oh, see, Potter's Pink does that sometimes too. Like, you have to really scrub at it to get it. There we go. You got to get it wet, let it sink in, and then it takes a second. Wait, did I do this one yet? No. This is a beautiful like gray green. Really like that. And especially with the granulation, that could be really fun. Look how much that's separating out already. All right, Derwood, enjoy. See you next time. My Mary Blue. I don't think I've ever tried those. I've had my Mary Gouache, I believe. Okay, next we have what is next? I'm skipping those two. I'm skipping yellow. So I need to do the brown. Ooh, that is really pretty. This reminds me of the forest. Oh my gosh, I need to make a custom pan of this. That is so pretty. Keep this in mind. Note to self. Mix my green with my brown custom pan for the future, because that is a gorgeous earthy foresty shadow green. Okay, so I've already done it with phthalo, right? No. We'll just continue down the line. Phthalo is going to be a tricky one because it's so strong. Wait, did I do this? No, that's ultramarine. No, okay. It just looks kind of similar. That looks like Amazonite. That's probably how they make it. I could definitely see that. Yeah, okay. That's a nice, basically phthalo green. Well, it might be a brand thing. Maybe not all Terre Verte are super hard to re-wet. Like, it really could be based on the brand. So don't go just by what I'm saying. That was just my experience with it. It was 2 brands though. So I think, was it the dot card, the Daniel Smith dot card? I think that one like barely moved or showed up. The other one was the Jackman's. It's like nothing coming out of a pan, but in the tube it's nice. I like it from the tube. It's very, very subtle though, but it was like, it just kind of disappeared. Or let's see, it was either the Daniel Smith dot card was the other one, or someone had it at an event I was at and I tried it, but I can't remember. So again, go by whatever brand, go use your own judgment for whatever brand you're doing the most, whatever brand you like. It could be completely different, and some brands might add something to theirs so that it actually works better, like to help you along. So now we need, I already did yellow, right? Yes, yellow. And so I need magenta. Whoa, that was a big jump. I need to bridge that. That's really difficult to do. There we go. It's a little better. Okay. It is a nice, like, shadowy purple, though. Look at that. That's really pretty. I like that. Low tinting, hard to rewet. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Thank you for interpreting. Okay, now that things are drying, you can start to see the subtleties a little better up here. I do have room for a little bit more, so I could do 2 more rows, maybe 1 row. I could do more. So, this is what I'm like, what? I could do buff titanium because it's a nice mixer. Or if there's a Potter's Paint combo I'm not thinking of yet, or... Yeah, look at how jewelly these are. Really pretty. Yep. Honestly, you get to know so much about colors doing things like this, but then putting it into practice also. It's kind of a back and forth. But it's a good mental exercise to like do the color mixing, but think about truly what would you use it for in the moment, like when you're painting. Buff with yellow. That could be, yeah, that could be interesting because the yellow is has quite a range. Either way, already, like I have such a huge range. So I'm very excited. It's a good mix, a good combo. Actually, let's do the petal shadow with the buff titanium. Oh no, I dropped water. Okay, we're good. It's not gouache. I have PTSD. Okay, let's do 1 row of the petal shadow with the buff because I ended there. It makes sense. My buff titanium is definitely still kind of wet underneath, so I'm gonna have to really try to get that to dry. Ooh, it's so pretty. Oh my gosh, I love it. Did I strip again? No, what I did on this one. Gasp! You should have seen me earlier today. I was like, what? It was like out of a... If someone made a sitcom about an artist who was very scatterbrained and always messing up, it would be that moment earlier. When I was filling my pen, I had this out on the table, opened. I had a syringe that I had pre-filled, and then I had to set it carefully down because I wasn't ready to use it yet. And I was like, oh crap, why did I do that? And then I had my pen, and as I opened my pen, I realized there's more parts to it, so I had to open that and take off a little part with the tweezers, and then I accidentally like tilted the other part upside down, so that spilled all over my hand, and then I tried to catch it, so I tilted the other way, and the whole inside of the pen came out onto the desk. And then I knocked the syringe over, which splattered everywhere, and I was just like, oh my god. I have a photo of the disaster zone. That the good thing though is that it was not waterproof, or yeah, like this was my desk, if you can see that little puddle there. Plus, you can't really see it, but there were splatters everywhere. There's a bit of remnants on the desk, but I'm like, whatever, it's not waterproof. I can clean it up. Seriously though. This is what happens when I'm unsupervised. It's really just ink with me, I think. Ink. Sorry, I didn't show that. I was just teasing you all with my saying how pretty it was and not showing you. It was I lost my train of thought. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those days, one of those moments. Oh, I was saying how ink, I'm cursed with ink. I seem to have such a I mean, I don't even think I can call it bad luck streak with ink, because at some point when it happens so many times, like, what's my excuse? What's the common denominator in all those situations? Okay, what else? Buff titanium with a little bit of... I already know ultramarine because I use it constantly. I did it with the green. Oh, someone said buff with yellow. Why not? They're good. It's gonna be like a light orange kind of. But you know what? This actually would be good for some certain things. So let's think. What could we use this for? We could use it for... There we go. Just yellow flowers, highlights on certain barks or dried plants, painted houses, rocks. Certain types of rocks, I guess, could maybe be like a little highlight of that color. It's a very pretty muted sunny yellow though. Maybe some buff with the phthalo, because I just love phthalo. Sorry, I'm just catching up with chat. Is that why one of the bowls was full of black liquid? Wait. What? Okay, let's buff titanium. What was I mixing? Oh, phthalo. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty already. It's really hard to mix this subtly though, because it's so strong. You have to... Oh, look at that. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh. Don't have room, do I? But it's okay. Just a little hint. Just little hints. Little pops of little thoughts. What else? One more room for one more. Buff with magenta, I guess. Could be good. My buff titanium is stained now. I did the buff with the custom green here. Just heard an oyster catcher, I think. You describe where you see it, we name the mix. Wait, what? Hold on, I want to play. What is this game? Hey, Erin. So for those of you who are just joining us now, I'll recap why the title is, why it says that. I'm going on a trip. I'm going on an adventure. I'm not quitting YouTube. Everything's fine, but I am going away for a while. So I'm traveling around quite a few places, it feels like. But I will be back probably second week of July will be my next video. So hang in there. I do have quite a few videos if you want to go back and watch anything. If you want to do tutorials, I have tons on my Patreon. But yeah, that's it. I'm going away. I'm going to the US, specifically the Adirondacks to paint, and then Ireland, and then my dad's coming here. So it's going to be a whirlwind. That's the best word I can think of. Oh, what am I doing? There. See, that's a nice pink. Look at the huge variety you can get with this quinacridone magenta too. I think that's why like the power colors on my palette are the quinacridone magenta, the yellow, and the phthalo turquoise. There we go. Ta-da! There's the cheat sheet. This morning doing your first plein air gouache? Ooh, exciting! Sorry, just trying to catch up. Okay, so I need to let that completely dry, and then I'll top it up later. We did it. We're being really productive today. I like this. Let's finish that sketch. This will be a nice chill moment. We're like progressing down into more and more and more chill as the stream goes on. I kind of want some tea. Ooh, Wolfie, can I please order some tea? You know what I wish we had? Cookies. We don't have any cookies. That would be amazing. "4 a.m. Oh my gosh. Are you gonna sleep? Oh, that's tiny. Wow. Chill is very welcome. Okay, so how long have I been streaming? Let's see. Where does it tell me? I don't even know. I don't even know where to look. A while, it feels. Wait, I started at 5. Oh, almost 2 hours, yeah. So, okay. I think that means it's time for a little stretch break. Let's do like 3 to 5 minutes and then meet back here. I'm going to take a little stretch break, refill my water because I'm almost out. Actually, I'll dump out my paint water because I don't want to spill that. Yeah, and I'll grab some tea. So I'll be back in a couple minutes. Zoom in. There we go. That's cute. Okay, be right back. Hello again. Okay. I just have to show you what I have returned with. Ask and you shall receive. So Wolfie went to the shop earlier and he didn't tell me he bought cookies, but he heard me just now in the stream saying how amazing it would be to have cookies. And I feel very lucky in this moment. Cookies and tea. Sorry, biscuits. They call them biscuits here. The best combo. Okay. Oh, I feel like I could have stretched more, but it was good just to at least take a break. Wolfie for the win! All right, now you can really see because it's fully dried. Let's fix the focus. Is it showing? Yes. You can see quite, there we go. Let's go this way, you can see more. See quite a variety in this grouping. I'm very excited to paint. I may also grab a couple of my cheat sheets from my gouache palette. I already have so many of those. So, because I've been using the same colors for quite a while. So yeah, now I get to figure out how to use this combo. I should have maybe done like a row of just the variation of the yellow alone, because the yellow goes from that deep, deep orange all the way to super sunny pure yellow. So yeah, maybe I'll just do that. We'll see. But for now, oh, I forgot to dump out my paint water. I'm going to put that on top of that and hope that it doesn't, oh, I forgot to refill my water too. But I have tea. And that's important. It's not ready yet though. So we're gonna kind of work on this little sketch. I think I will lower my camera instead of just zoom in. Oops, because it's way down there. Racking up the husband points. I had no idea. He's like thanking his past self. That was a lot of points he just got there. Oh, is this gonna hit the camera? Oh, that is just barely missing. Although I don't draw straight up and down, it's fine. Okay, hold on. I need a bite of cookie. Oh god, I almost just dropped my cookie. My yellow is basically quinacridone gold, as close as I can get to that. It's quinacridone burnt orange with a tiny hint of lemon yellow, I believe, or Hansa yellow. One of those insanely bright yellows. But it's basically like I had a swatch of my old quinacridone gold and this one, and you can't tell them apart. Oh, that's a really good cookie. Don't ask me why I chose to do such a detailed drawing. I was like, oh, I'll just do a little sketch to kind of get my I haven't used fine liners in a while, and I used to love drawing with them, and then I switched to using more fountain pens, and I'm kind of going back and forth all the time. But I feel like fine liners require a little more nuance or finesse to get certain types of lines. So I'm trying to get that feeling back before my trip. And I was like, oh, I'll just draw some poppies. But I'm using such a tiny one that it's taking forever. So I need to, and I really want to finish it before I go. So yeah, anyway. These are my neighbor's poppies. They are, I don't know what kind they are, but they are massive. My hand is smaller than the poppy. Like, it is ginormous. And they are very, what I would call wrinkly. They have a lot of wrinkles, and because they're so big, they can barely hold themselves up for long. And their petals are so big and heavy and floppy and wrinkly. And especially because we had a couple storms the last couple days, I feel like they got beaten down, and they're even more so now. So it's kind of fun to draw them because of that, because the petals are all like that. What's the word for this in drawing form? Swoopy. Hold up, I have to take my tea out. My steeping is done. Patience shall be rewarded. We'll see. Or I may finish this and then spill ink all over it. But it is, I don't know. It's a sketchbook. So I go through these phases of, or these thoughts of, like when I start a detailed drawing like this, I lean into that perfectionism, which I don't really have perfectionism, but I don't know why it comes out when I do something like this. And then the next page becomes a little more difficult because I oh, I did such a detailed one for that, so I can't really do a super messy thing now. I have to keep that going. So this time I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to finish this drawing, and then on this page, I'm going to do something super loose and splashy just to like immediately erase that pressure. Maybe that's just me, but like if I sit down and open the sketchbook to this page, I'm going to be like, oh, I did such a detailed drawing. I can't just play next to that, which is so silly, right? It's a sketchbook. It's not a finished thing. It's not going to hang on a wall. Like a tiny percentage of the world will ever even see it. It's, what is that about sketchbooks? One thing I used to think about is how I would do something in my sketchbook and then think, oh my God, I can never do anything that good again. Like I'll never be able to replicate what I just did. Maybe I was studying a landscape or something and something just happened to click and it worked. It just worked. And I was like, oh, that was lucky. And then it wasn't really until the last maybe 3 or 4 years that I started repeating the same drawings and paintings to just learn them better. And I was like, oh, actually, it's not luck. It's something I can repeat and get even better and better and better at. But it was very empowering. It's such an obvious thing, but it was so empowering. Where did I come up? What was I talking about that? There's a reason I brought that up. I can't remember why. Oh, that's hot. Can't drink that yet. It'll come to me. The reason I brought that up will come to me. And also, yeah, I've never seen poppies as big as my neighbor's poppies. And also, they look different to other poppies I've seen. There's such a wide variety of poppies out there. And I have Welsh poppies in my garden, which are tiny little yellow poppies. It's like, what? It's the same thing? It's not the same thing, obviously, but yeah, it's incredible. This is one of them, at least in this drawing, that's like fading. I used to draw a lot more with pen, just pen, and I think once I discovered brush pens and markers, I started leaning into like using those for shading or variation or gradients and things. And I really miss just straight up line drawing like this. So I think that's why I wanted to do this page, just to remind myself like how much I like the look of it and how relaxing it can be. It's also a fun creative challenge because you only have black and white technically. Like you can use hatching and other things to create sort of a variation, but it's not like it's not going from like black into the grays and then into the paper color. So it's a fun, it's just such a different way of thinking. So I'm kind of using the photo on the screen as well as one that's on my phone, but mostly it's I drew the outlines and everything I saw from 2 or 3 photos combined. And now I'm just trying to go from memory really, or like creative artistic decisions in the moment. But that's the fun of it, I feel. Say 1 hour left. I'm gonna say let's try to finish around 8 p.m., which is 45 minutes from now, but you know me. I think physically I should stop at 8 p.m. because then my like streaming adrenaline can go down before bed, and also my back will probably be hurting by then because I'm like leaning in. So that's what I'm just throwing that out there. We'll see. I tend to get distracted and you know. Should I start dinner? I don't know. What are you making? Bread and cheese for supper. I did say, like, even if it's literally plain or pasta with butter and shredded cheese, like that sounds amazing. It's like so bland, but so good. Wolfie's basically a gourmet chef, you guys. It's incredible. Sometimes his experiments go a little wrong, but most of the time. Is that in focus? Yeah. Most of the time, it's amazing. Pasta drowning in butter and Parmesan. Isn't it just so good? It's like So nostalgic to me too. Oh, that's hot. But oh, that's so good. Sorry for slurping. This is from the Tea People, and it's, oops, just punched the, I don't know if this will focus. You can't really see it, but it's licorice toffee mint. And it tastes like licorice toffee mint. Tastes like if Autumn and a Snuggie had a baby. Just trying to think of like the most comforting, cozy thing I can. Okay, I'm gonna end that thought there and just move on. Okay, drawing. So, what are y'all working on over there? Carbonara. Ooh, yeah, sounds good. I've eaten my veggies for the day, so you could just keep it all carbs if you want. I love carbs after streaming. I think I fully deplete my brain during streaming and just need to load up. Oh gosh, that is such good tea. It never ceases to amaze me. All right, I think I need my other reference photo for this big one because it is a bit, let's see, the flower, the petal was like folded up kind of, so like that. Not, the inside isn't showing as much. I don't think it takes very long, Wolfie. Isn't it just sauce? Oh, Floki's home. Guess what we did? So the way our house works is we have one door basically, and that's where the cat flap is. And then it goes into a shoe room. And then there's another door that closes off the rest of the house. So when we have to keep that outside door, the inside door shut, because Akira learned how to open the cat flap, he can pry it open. And the problem with that is then Floki comes home. Sorry, I'm fixing my focus. Floki comes home and gets trapped in the shoe room if we don't open that inside door. And it's been a dilemma for a while. So I was like, there's a way. There has to be a way. Originally, I was going to put our security camera in the shoe room. Like there's different places we can put them. But then I was like, I could have my app notify me when motion is detected. And then I can check if it's Floki. But that just is like a lot. So then I realized the door and window sensors that I use that are attached to our security system, I could buy extra and they're pretty little, and I can put one on the cat flap. So I put one on the cat flap, and now when Floki comes home, our security system plays a theme song for Floki. So when we hear this guitar song playing, we know Floki came in and we can open the door for him. Just gonna mic drop. I mean, commit to the line. Yeah, we don't want to keep collar on him though, because it gets stuck on things outside and falls off. It's a whole thing. We had a tracking collar on him for ages, and a few times it got like, because it has to have a safety release, otherwise they can hang themselves from a tree or something. So this, if he gets like caught on a bush and pulls too hard, it comes off. And I had to like dig through our neighbor's forest one time looking for it. It was, and now we know like he comes home. He just does. I don't worry about that anymore. I don't know. There's probably gonna be a time where I wish I had it on him, but it was causing more problems. But anyway, we solved it. Now all we need to do is figure out how to have the door automatically open and close for him so we don't have to do it without letting Akira out. That's the trick. Because the problem is Akira, when we open that inside door, he runs out into the shoe room because he thinks he's going outside, because we go out with Akira, like supervised, but Floki is like free reign, so you can't just open the shoe room door without consequences. So I don't know if they ever really like have robots that could be like our door butler, then I would maybe consider that. This is so like when we talk about this stuff, this is how we joke with Wolfie's friends who have kids. It's like, gosh, see how lucky you are that you have children? Even though we know that's insane. But we are insane, really, when it comes down to it. Music. There aren't many good options. I don't get, well, actually, I might be able to upload a custom theme song. I will look into that now that you mention it. Because I just chose one of the standard options, which they're very limited, but I chose the only one that sounded like an actual theme song. But yeah, now whenever it plays, I'm like, Floki's home. It's his theme song. And I think Akira learned it too, because every time the song plays, he looks over at the door. Ready. This one's going to be tricky. Like this kind of thing down here. How am I going to shade that? We'll come back to you. We'll just do the... You would consider a door butler robot? Yes. Yes, I would. Someone's scratching at my door. Oh, hi, little baby. Did you hear us talking about you? It's not Floki, but it's little boy. Yeah. Where's your brother? Did he come in? There. Where's your brother? Oh, you're so heavy. Where's your brother? He's like hyper now, and he's like, ooh. I have a shawl thing hanging kind of as a curtain, and he loves to attack it. He loves to attack everything in my office. Yeah. Hi, Floki. You want to come up too? Akira's like, no, I'm the star. Akira time. Don't look around, look at them. Oh no. Oh no. Don't climb on there. Floki's here. See Floki? Hey. Hi, little Flokes. Okay. Yes. Do you want to come up? Look at him just plop down there. Oh, yes, there he is. Floof, floof, floof. What can I step on? What can I do to mess up the desk? What can I lick? What can I step on? What can I knock over behind the desk? What can I bite? What can I scratch? What can I eat? These are the thoughts I think that he has. Thank you, Lynn. Yes. Enjoy your time in the limelight. As in Icelandic Floki? Yes, it's inspired by Floki from Vikings. Because he's kind of insane, but he's super cute and cuddly too. Okay, this is an arm workout. Yeah. Can you hear him purring? Is my mic that sensitive? I thought it wouldn't be because it's my computer. Go chase your brother. We want dogs someday. Like whenever we get our own place, that's on the horizon, but I'm not sure how we would introduce them. Yeah, Floki might not come back. We'd have to maybe, if it was a puppy, maybe it would work. I just realized why he was trying to get in. It's because Wolfie is now cooking in the kitchen, which means he's not getting attention down there, which means he'll be looking for me. Some cats love to cuddle. Not all cats. Vader was always quite skittish, but like towards the end he was more and more cuddly. Floki, or no, in most cats are cuddly when they're sleepy too. Like that also helps, but Floki, his first couple years, unless he was sleepy, he was always just like super independent. Go, go, go. Why are you trying to hold me? I need to be chasing that thing. And like, just not very affectionate. Whereas Akira from the beginning has been like the ultra affectionate, cuddly baby. But now Floki is like 5 and he is way more cuddly. Like actually seeks us out to let us pet him and get pets and brushies and tummy rubs and things like that. Like it's so sweet, and we always talk about how much he's changed and how lucky we are. But I think, when they get maybe older, they start to chill a little bit. And I think it's kind of more normal for them to be a little more cuddly. But like Wolfie was saying, he's had cats throughout his life, and he's had a couple that were anti-cuddle for their whole life, basically. Maybe at the very, very end they were a little cuddly, but I was like, that's kind of what I thought Floki would be, and I was like trying to accept it. But now he's becoming more cuddly, and it's wonderful. I mean, Vader was always like a mama's boy, so he was different with me, but yeah, like he would have his moments of cuddles and then he would need to be independent. So I think that's pretty common for a lot of cats. With Floki, it's so funny because he like comes over to us on the couch and sits between us and is like, okay, it's time to pet me. And then he's there for maybe like a few minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And then he just bursts off the couch, like jumps off, like, flings himself off, like done. He goes from loving it to done within like a second. We're just like, okay, done. I never used to like these tiny little fine liners. Like anything below 0.3, I always thought was kind of pointless because I'm like, I draw too fast. I'm never that detailed, like quite as detailed as that. But I actually love how fine I can get these little, for like hatching or shading in deeper areas. It's actually not bad. It's not like I thought it would take me forever to do this. Like I can fill this in pretty fast and then just work out from there, and it's not bad. And it's a very fine, delicate drawing. So they're growing on me. Whereas like before I thought I would have to use, I would always use a bigger tip, like nib, so that I could get a little more variation, like press hard for the thicker lines and the deeper lines and then press gently for the thin lines. And I thought, that's the best way. That's the only way. Whoa. Oh, that is strong. Everything's settled to the bottom of my tea and it's like eating the plant. Tap your arm. Oh, that's cute. Akira does that sometimes. His latest thing is if I'm working on my phone or something, I'm like locked in. I might not even hear him meowing in the background. And he'll walk up to me and put his paw in front of my phone. Like he knows. And I'm just like, oh, okay. He like snaps me out of it. And then he just stares at me and sometimes he'll meow more. And I'm just like, okay, I get it. Can hear him meowing down there. Oh, I think I meant to do a line here. Is that gonna work now? Ugh. I'll come back to that spot. Okay, that's in the way. 0.005 liner. Yeah, this is the 0.01. I had the 0.0. Where is it? I had the I don't know. I had it on somewhere nearby because I was using it to write on little cards, little swatch cards. And I was like, this is the perfect pen for this because it's so teeny tiny. But I think my biggest worry is how fragile they might be. Like, what if I guess if you drop it, you're screwed anyway, but yes, I hear you, Akira. They just seem so fragile. But I have, maybe I should bring two now that I'm thinking about that, just in case one bends or breaks. That's better. Ooh. Okay, that tea is done. That's way too strong at the bottom. I think I put a little too much. What is happening? Oi! He's like digging at my door. Okay, the problem with you in here is now I know you're gonna try to jump up, and there's a lot to break and knock over. So either you're in here and you're on my lap, or you have to go out. Yeah. You gotta decide. That was Floki. Hear him snorting? He does this little snorty snort. It's actually a common thing with Siamese that they have very small nasal passages. So they snore and grunt and make funny noises a lot. He snores a lot. And it's also common that they can get like polyps in their nasal passage, which makes them make even funnier noises. But those can also get too big and they need to get removed by surgery. So we have to like keep an eye on that. But yeah, he is definitely a snorer and a snuffleupagus. Like he just makes the funniest noises. And it's weird because it's only when he's in certain positions, like a lot of times, or if he's falling asleep especially, or like getting really sleepy, just chilling on the couch or something. If he's just on his tummy or kind of leaning his head slightly, like you hear it way more. But if we have him like in our arms and he's on his back and he's falling asleep, he doesn't really do it. So I don't know. I guess people do that too. Like in different positions, you snore more. Mm. Mm-hmm. Hmm? Hi, Ona. Thank you. And Margaret, that sounds amazing. I love asparagus. But mint? That's got me curious. I've never heard of mint pasta. I thought it said mini pasta at first. Oh, I had music playing at some point on my phone. Just like chill guitar music or something. The paper is a sketchbook. It's kind of grayish watercolor paper by Hanemula. I love this stuff. I'm really liking the size too. All right, Natalie, enjoy. Oh no, Akira's getting in trouble for meowing. Poor baby. Okay. I need some these little fuzzy guys. Scarlet red, that's intense. Okay, the stems are very fuzzy, so we're just gonna kind of it is tempting to come back in and add a splash of color, but I just really love to have some pure line drawings in my sketchbooks now and then. So I will try to film a little bit of my adventures. I mean, I know I will. I always do. And maybe do some kind of little vlog after the trip. I think that's probably the best way to come back. But then I have a lot of references over the last few months of my travels, and oh my gosh, I have a ridiculous amount of things I want to paint, like larger sit down in the studio proper paintings. So I think that's what's gonna happen. The thing is, it's gonna be July when I come back, which is a gorgeous time in Scotland, so I'm gonna want to be out all the time. So that's the struggle. But you know, there's definitely gonna be rainy days and stuff that will force me inside. Just have to. That's always the challenge of plein air painter and in the summer, I guess. Thanks, Ona. Hanamula. I don't know if that's actually how you say it. I like saying it that way. I've never actually heard. Have I heard someone say it? Where is it made? Does it say? This part doesn't say. It's it might be France because they had a ton of it there, but that means it could just be anywhere in the EU, I guess. But yeah, it's a really it's grown on me a lot over the last few years. I like their 100% cotton sketchbook. Rachel, hi Rachel. You're dressed like Moana. That must be so beautiful. Do a little spin. Give us a spin. So pretty. Moana. Rachel, I heard you are the best big sister in the whole world. Whoever is near their keyboard, if you want to give a say hello to my niece Rachel, who is currently watching and dressed up like Moana. And for the future, hello Nathan. If you ever find this video, which I doubt, it'll be buried in a lot of other stuff by then, but waved and spun around. Oh, nice. Rachel's a really good artist. When I was there, Rachel and I were painting, and I saw all of Rachel's beautiful paintings. Little fuzzy buds. I'll probably have to define these a little better, but just for now, I get something on there. Yeah, it's definitely fun how fine I can draw with this little nib. So it is only 10 minutes until the end of stream. So I want to thank everyone who's been hanging out with me. I know some people already left, but thank you for hanging out with me for my last video in a while. I will be back hopefully second week of July. It's gonna be all sorts of crazy fun. I will probably be posting stories on Instagram kind of regularly if I have signal. I actually don't know how the signal's going to be in the Adirondacks, but yeah. See ya, Erica. Limited palettes are so fun. For context, she's 3, yeah. Thank you. You're off to Scotland for 5 weeks. Amazing. It's such a good time to visit. I say that every time of year, except winter, unless you are looking for a winter experience. Like, yeah, but it's such a beautiful time anywhere between like April and October. Thank you. I'm very excited. Yeah. Especially because my dad's never been to Ireland or Scotland. So many things to show him. Very, very much looking forward to that. Happy 71st birthday. Oh my gosh. I feel like I could add a couple more fuzzy guys. Is that Kooky? A cuckoo. Akira has lots of nicknames. A cuckoo, a Kiki, Coco, Mr. Stinky Butt. Yes, I know. What are you doing? He's like, where's my pets? Do I still have his brushie? Oh, I do. Yeah, okay. We'll end the stream. Does he want brushies? Yes. Yeah. Does he want brushies? He has to come up, or Floki's gonna steal your spot. Wow, I need to like clean this. Yeah. So I'm gonna say goodbye. You're gonna get locked out. Oh, please don't eat the trash. Sake. Okay. Floki must be sleeping somewhere. Yes. Say goodbye, little boy. Yes. Not gonna go on my desk right now. Back to bed. Sleep well. Thank you everyone for hanging out with me. And Akira. I feel like I'm not prepared for this journey. Like I am. I've packed mostly, but mentally I've just been like working as much as I can to get ready for it, to get like all my Patreon stuff's ready ahead of time. Yeah, a lot of stuff happened in the last week, so it's like I'm not quite in vacation mode yet or travel mode yet, but so excited. Thank you, Sketches. Oh, look how cuddly it is. A good supervillain cat. Yes, I can do the whole. Oh, hello. Kind of. Happy kitty faced. I know, right? Like when the brush. Oh. Oh, yes. Oh, such a brushy kitty. Loves his little brushies. Okay. I could just sit here and pet you for hours and hours. I'm especially excited for the plein air event in the Adirondacks because there's a lot. There's like 100 artists or something, or at least it's capped at 100. I think. I don't know if they sold out, but it's gonna be pretty cool. Probably overwhelming. But you know, we can break up into little groups and choose where we want to go paint each day, and then share breakfast and dinner together. So it's definitely gonna be an interesting thing. I don't think I've ever experienced anything like that. I mean, I know I haven't. So we'll I'll send I'll be sharing some stories here and there because I know it's going to be so unique. And yeah, otherwise I'll try to capture bits of it and then make a little vlog when I get back, try to share the authentic experience. He's like falling asleep. Yes. Little kitten. Okay, I guess I'm gonna end. Does the public watch? I mean, we'll be out and about. Like, we'll be just going wherever we want and painting. Basically, we all stay at a college dorm, like the suites in a college. Like, we've rented it out, I guess. And then each day you can stay at the college and paint the grounds because they're beautiful, or you can go off and drive an hour away up into the mountains with a group. You know, it's up to each group or each whoever you want. And if people are there watching, then people are there watching. But it's not a competition. It's not tutored, or it's not like a workshop. It's just there. It's just like dedicated time to paint every day, all day for a whole week, which is very rare. Make an Instagram account. I will share some photos with the group. Poor Sarah, I'm getting you connected. So, oh, thanks, Cami. Yeah, it'll be interesting, won't it? We'll see. Look at his little demon eyes. What is it? It smells like bacon. I wonder what Wolfie's making. Oh, he's making carbonara, but hopefully with veggie bacon. Yeah, I don't think we have real bacon anyway. Okay, I'm gonna end the stream now. Thank you everyone for hanging out with me, and I will see you in a while. So, bye. I will leave you with this until I end the stream.